what are you doing to promote your martial arts school? So this video is going to be on things that you could do to market your school, but one thing I need you to understand first of all is marketing is an essential skill. It really is, okay? Don't let anybody tell you that it isn't. In order for your business to be more successful, in order for your martial arts school to, have a bigger, more active count, we need to be promoting it each and every day. Now, some days are going to be busier than others, but the promotion and the marketing of your martial arts school needs to take place all of the time, just as your teaching lessons is normal standard operating procedures. Marketing of your school should also be an SOP, standard operating procedures. So, before I get into the little bit of a list that I've scribbled down there, what I want you to understand is, although marketing is essential, it's no good learning how to fill your school with lots of new white belts or lots of new leads inquiries, and then your bucket has still got lots of holes in. Because all that marketing will do, it will exaggerate the holes or the flaws within your business. So imagine now you move from only receiving 10 inquiries a month. You should hopefully be on a lot more than that anyway. But imagine if you move from 10 inquiries a month and you only enroll one student a month. So I'm using this as obviously worst case scenario. So you get 10 inquiries a month, you enroll one student a month. So you've got like 10% of inquiries you enroll. Now imagine you do 10 times more marketing, and instead of the 10 inquiries a month, you get 100 inquiries a month, and you're only going to get 10% of those that enroll, which means you're going to get 10 members. So can you see now how having holes in your bucket will just exaggerate depending on what your current conversion rates are? I don't want to create a big long video on the importance of stats and having a stats dashboard. Again, we cover that with our mentees, but we need to be tracking key essential metrics. Otherwise, we don't know where we are. We're just, floating on open water and kind of drifting around. I say this to my mentees a lot. Nobody wants to plod along. School owners should not be happy just plodding along. If you are, fantastic, but I don't think you are if you're watching this video. You should really be trying to grow your school and look after your students each and every day, because it is your livelihood. That's it, be all and end all. I need to look after these students because it is my livelihood. I'm passionate about what I teach. I'm passionate about the benefits that I bring. So I need to make sure that I'm looking after them. But at the same time, I need to be bringing in new students to try and teach those, because if we don't have new students coming in, then who are going to be the instructors in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line? So constantly we need to be bringing in new students all the time. If anything, we've got a moral deceit, or should I say, we're morally obliged to bring in new students, because that will then help the art continue on and further evolve and so on over the next generation. So hopefully hopefully you understood that. Marketing is crucial, it's key, but even more key is filling in any buckets, any holes that you have in your bucket. Right, so what have I written down here? Basic stuff really, internal marketing, external marketing, then your online marketing, key stuff. So your online marketing, so many school owners abdicate it or delegate just to online. So I'm going to do SEO, which is a slow burner. I'm going to do Google Ads, I'm going to do Facebook and so on. And then that's all I'm going to do to promote my school. Now, and then school owners come to me and say, well, I've tried Facebook ads and they never work. They're just a rip-off. We're getting loads of tire kickers and so on. So that I'm just going to stop that. SEO, I can't seem to be getting anybody from that really. When I ask them how did they find out about us, they'll just say the internet or somebody else. So I don't know about SEO. Google cost me a fortune, so I really don't know where I'm going. Now, there's lots of ways you can market your business on the internet. And then within your community, internally within your school, events bringing students in, and externally when you're taking your school, which basically means you and or other instructors and or students out into the community to deliver like taster sessions and so on. But it's a classic thing, this, I can't remember in one of the books I read it in, but there's never going to be one key way that's going to bring in 20 students. This one thing is going to bring in 20 students every month. So if I go to this event, I'll bring in 20 students guaranteed. If I pay for this Facebook and I'm pay £1,000 into Facebook ads, I'm going to guarantee to get 20 students. It doesn't work that way. like marketing, there's going to be many touch points. You need to be in lots of places all of the time. You'll hear lots of entrepreneurs talking about this, and it's one thing I mentioned with my Sensei In The Room mentees as well. It's that omnipresence. So the best things that always happened at our school was when we'd ask them, so how did you find out about us, Mrs. Smith? And they'd say something like, God, are you joking? You guys are everywhere. That was a massive tick for us, because that was like we're dominating, we're owning the area. That's what you want. You want to make sure you've got a key place in your prospect's mind all of the time. When they think of karate or kung fu or Wing Chun or BJJ or judo, whatever it is your style, you should come to their head straight away. So maybe a few things here internal. So let's go online first. And again, if I'm looking down, I do not mean to be rude, but SEO, doing Google AdWords, Facebook ads, maybe even Facebook Live, YouTube videos, YouTube Live, possibly TikTok, Instagram, email and so on, Google page, possibly Zoom live classes. Not one of those will guarantee like a massive home run for you, but a combination of all of those will have that drip effect that will result in an enrollment. So you've got to understand that principle. And again, I'm not going into the full ins and outs of marketing here. That's, we haven't got enough time to do that, but just a few ideas, internal stuff that you could do. So you've got your buddy weeks. So don't saturate buddy weeks though. I mean, once every month, maybe, but I'd be tempted to do it once every time with the school holidays, once every 6 weeks. Tying with the school pattern, should I say. So every 6 weeks we do a buddy week. Every 6 weeks we do a referral week. Selection of parties, seasonal parties, Christmas party, Easter party, summer party. With that, you're bonding your existing students together, but asking them to bring friends in as well, so they're familiar with your environment. Ball breaking days, where again they're bringing friends into the environment or into your school. It's always about letting parents know that you exist and you're there. And then when they come into the school, if parents, if you and your team are speaking to them and being polite and so on, explaining how well they've done, explain what you do there, you're going to get some bookings or some first lessons. What you don't do is, please put a big red cross to this. If you're holding any type of party, don't say at the end, right, everybody, anybody wants to book in a free lesson, go and see, Sensei Smith over there or Master Smith, and he'll get you booked in, because nothing's going to happen, okay? You might get one person over there, but you might have 20 people on the mats. It needs to be choreographed. Everything in your school always needs to be choreographed and stage managed and managed well if you want it to be successful. So if you've run parties before and you thought, they don't work for us, you can guarantee. That's like saying I've been to the gym once and why did I not lose any weight? It's always about making improvements every single time you run a party. So did you get the details beforehand? Did you meet and greet them before the party started? Were instructors talking to them in the middle of the session? Were instructors talking to them at the end of the session? Did they leave with decent packs of information so that they could book in if they didn't already book in? So there's so many things that can happen where, again, I mentioned this a lot to my mentees, filling holes in your bucket, because once the holes start to be filled up, then you'll notice a massive improvement. Let's have a look there. Yeah, graduations, making sure that when they do the belt testing on, normally in the morning something, then in the afternoon you've got the graduation where they're going to be awarded the belts, the certificates, and possibly any self-discipline achievement medals and so on, making sure that they're bringing family members and the best friend. Again, you're constantly trying to just bring traffic into your school all of the time. Things as well, you could work with supermarkets, and that was always a good one for us. They used to have people called like communities champion or something like that, or sponsorship coordinator or whatever. Just having 5 or 6 of your students there helping out, backpacking at tills, it could help to save. You might be doing it for fundraising, but you're doing fundraising for a certain charity or so on. It doesn't need to go back into your school. It could be for a certain charity. But again, just raising awareness of your students there with your logo on, showing lots of respect, showing, focus and everything else, really being good ambassadors, or what I say a lot, being a product of the products. You'd want people to have left thinking, he was a nice boy or he was a nice girl, or that instructor was really nice. Yeah, they're really nice there, aren't they? And that type of thing. You don't want them to have bad thoughts about you or your students, really. Newsletters. Now again, newsletters, you're never going to get massive amounts from that. Definitely not. But if you've got a newsletter that's printed and left on every seat every 4 weeks, you know, it just reminds people, oh, they've got a referral event this weekend, or they've got a ball breaking event this weekend, or there's a little voucher in here, I'll give this to my next door neighbour. Again, 1 month it might not work, but the following month you might get one enrolment or one inquiry. But if you do 12 of those a year, or 24 if you're doing it every 2 weeks, it's just another little trickle coming into the school. Primary school events, going movie days at the cinemas and so on. Lots of opportunities out there. So if you're serious, okay, about growing and building your school, do not rely on word of mouth, okay? Or we get most of our members from referrals. Fantastic if you're getting some members from referrals, brilliant. So if you're enrolling 10 members a month and 5 are coming from referrals, well done. Where are the other 5 coming from? And how many things am I doing to generate this 5? So therefore, if I can double or triple down on this here, then surely I'm going to get more members than 5. And if I can bring in more of a systemized referral process for these, then surely I'm going to get more than 5 there. So that 10 enrollments a month should be able to become 15 or 20. And then suddenly, from 120 members a year, you're now enrolling 240. And then if you're tying in your retention as well, instead of losing 100 or whatever it is, say if you've got bad retention of like 50% or so on, instead of losing 100 over the year, I'm now losing only 40 or 50, your school will go like that. So many school owners I speak to, especially during like the initial conversations when we're going over the school evaluations, believe that they just need more students. In some instances that's the case, but most of the time don't appreciate what they've already got within the school. The people that are currently paying them each and every month, that are allowing them to pay their team, allowing them really to pay the electricity, to keep the doors open and so on. Let's focus on looking after those and losing as little as possible every month, as well as building up new students coming in. So yeah, marketing is important. I know I might have done a few videos before on this channel, on this playlist. Always be marketing, ABM, definitely. It should be a standard operating procedure. It should be an operating system that each and every day we are doing something to promote our school. Now, don't cop out here and think I've taken a picture of me and somebody, earning a certificate and put it on Facebook and that's enough. Again, of course, that'll get a trickle. It'll raise awareness. But think to yourself now, when somebody's scrolling on Facebook, you're in for a second, then you're gone, then they're on to the next thing. So again, still keep doing that, but build other things in around it. Your school needs to be extremely systemized if you're looking for it to be efficient, profitable, and provide you with a lifestyle, the livelihood that you pretty much deserve, really. So good luck. Keep taking steps further forward. If you're serious, which quite a lot of people are if they're watching this, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 minutes in, then you need to get in touch. If we're still offering school evaluations, then, we might speak that way. If not, if the doors are closed, then we'll put you on the waiting list or something. But make the choice, okay? Because if you make the choice and to wait on it, the option might not be there for you in the future. So by not actually deciding, you've actually decided not to do anything. Anyway, good luck. Keep taking steps further forward. I hope that video provided some value. There is lots that you could do to market your school, but treat it like a business. Take care. All the best.